Disclaimer. Explicit content will be discussed on this episode. If you with it, stay tuned. If not, I'll see you soon. See, what they don't know is they're tuning in to DBYT Podcast. My name is Taisha Hans, and this is my show where I'll explore the ins and outs of the world around me. You can tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. On this episode, we will explore what it means to be a pro at procrastination. My guest today will let you in on some of their times where procrastination helped and hindered them. Thanks to all my participants for joining me in the making of this production. With that being said, let's get into it. Today's positive inspirational is, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. And I got that off of Google. I'd like to turn the lights down and turn the heat up. This is Poetic Heat with Tea. Today we had a poem sent in by JP, and the name of this poem is called Ashes. I lit myself a flame, burning everything I hated, shedding all my insecurities. I fell. Inside I changed, growing into something new, someone kind, generous, loving. I rise. You can check out more poems from Uncaged by my good friend JP on Wattpad at Joseph AP 121. Isn't it a wonderful day to be a Scorpio? Right, the best sign amongst all the zodiacs. Today, my friends, is the start of Scorpio season, and I want to give a special happy birthday to my little brother Tyon. He just turned 18 today, and I just want to say happy birthday. And I love you, kid. And I want to also say thanks for the 80 plus plays on The Real on Relationships. Y'all really came through for the first episode. I will say that. But yeah, shout out to the rest of y'all too. But Scorpio will be taking over this season. And we're back. Hey, let me ask you something. Can you explain what procrastination is to me?
I feel like procrastination is when you have a task and you're trying to prolong the task, and the task is very important, and you know in your heart and soul that it's very important, but you just prolong it for whatever reason and do it at the very last minute.
Contestant number 2, can you explain what procrastination is?
Procrastination is putting something off, knowing that it has to get done, but you feel as if you can do it later, and you know you can do it later, so you just keep putting off until the very last minute, and then you finally scram to get it done.
Do you find yourself doing it often?
More often than I would like to do, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Why do you think you procrastinate as much as you do? Contestant number 1.
It's the mixture of things. Honestly, it really depends on what the thing I'm procrastinating can do, but it usually is just like a mixture of being lazy, depression, and anxiety, bro. That's really it.
Okay. Contestant number 2. Or does it just happen?
It just happens sometimes. Like, just like, I know I got something to do. It just happens. Like, dang, I try to do something on the day, a couple days before it has to be done, like before due date, and it just happens. Like, dang, I just forgot that whole week is gone. Like, damn.
Do you ever feel like it's because you don't really want to do it in a
For
way?
sure.
Contest? Yeah. Okay. What factors cause you to procrastinate?
I think it just feeds into what I was saying earlier. It's a part of laziness. Also the fact that I know that if I have time to do it later, like how Jarvis was saying earlier, then I'm just going
Mm-hmm.
to do it later. Um, and then also, I think when people are battling depression and things like that, that also makes you procrastinate with tasks because just like you just don't want to do anything.
That was a good point. I like that. Contestant number 2, can you describe the feeling you get when you've procrastinated on a task and the deadline is less than an hour
Oof.
away?
You feel the rush, like adrenaline rush, like anxiety, like you gotta get this done. Like, oh my goodness, the due date is like within the next hour or so, and you got nothing on paper or something like that. Like you gotta scram, like your head is spinning. There's a lot of stuff going on. But then again, only the select few can actually perform under pressure and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you know that that's called an arousal procrastinator? They wait until the last minute in order to get a euphoric rush. Did you know
nah, I
that?
ain't know.
That's me.
Yeah.
We
um, Contestant number 1, how do you feel when you procrastinated on a task and the deadline is less than an hour away?
um, well, I can either be one or two things. I would be hella stressed out. Well,
hmm,
in both cases, I'm going to be hella stressed out. But that
yeah,
would either make me, sometimes when I procrastinate, that's when I do my best work.
okay.
Mm.
And I might really show the fuck out in the last
Mm,
30 minutes when it's due.
I hear you.
I'm glad that you brought that point up because I was going to ask, do you believe that you work better under pressure? Why or why
Man,
not?
I would prefer not to work under pressure just because,
Okay.
it will, stress takes a lot of takes a lot of your life. Like you
Yeah, the
yeah.
anxiety is
But
no joke.
I
I
know that the
understand
fact that I
completely.
can do it, and that's probably why I do it, do it so much, is because I
Mm.
know that I can perform under pressure very
Yeah.
well. But it's not healthy at all.
Nah.
Contestant number 2, do you agree or disagree
I
with that
agree.
statement?
I agree 100%. Cause like you've proven to yourself so many times that you can perform under pressure. It's like shoot, like, what's the difference this time? You know,
Hmm.
like you can do it.
And
So
you know
yeah,
you can do it.
right.
Yeah, but does it ever occur that these are different situations that you're putting yourself in, even though yeah, you putting yourself in a procrastination bubble, but the work may be a little bit more
Yeah,
difficult or easy depending on what
you're
subject
right.
it
But
is.
still, I know at the end of the day, I know I can trust myself to be able to get it done.
Yeah, and even
Hmm.
if I do actually take the time, like to, let's say I have a project and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this part of the project at this time, that it makes it easier and it sounds good, but sometimes
Uh huh.
life happens and, I
Right.
get caught up with my own life. I'm like, oh, I forgot that I had to do this and now I
Uh,
have to perform under pressure just because that's what life wanted for me.
oop.
Mm. Now that's for real. That's like factual
Hmm.
Mm.
content. When did you notice your procrastination was becoming an issue?
Um, Probably freshman year of college, because high school I was a pretty decent student. I usually gave
Mm-hmm.
myself, the right amount of time to do everything, but college is a whole different ball game. Like,
Indeed, it is. Isn't it crazy how we used to be like student athletes and do extracurricular and
Mhm.
everything? Like we still had the same 24 hours. Used to take about 7 or 8 classes throughout the week. Now we have about four,
And
maybe
then don't
maybe
forget
three.
to mention wake up at the crack of dawn. And
Yeah, oh, definitely. And stay at school all day until about what 3:15, I
hmm
believe it was. Isn't that crazy? And now we have so much time, and we still find ourselves
I don't even
procrastinating.
know how I was even doing that, to be honest. Like, I think about that all the time. Like, how were you going to school and maintaining straight A's and B's and
Mm-hmm.
getting up at 8:30 or being at school by 8:30, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
doing your extracurricular activities after that and still had time to do other stuff? Man, what?
Yeah, like we were in clubs and some of us were like a part of
Hmm.
sports teams and everything else and doing community service
College.
and I just I don't even understand it. Contestant number 2, Do you procrastinate with just your schoolwork, or is it with everyday tasks as well?
Well, for me, I believe it's mostly schoolwork. Like everything else, I pretty much handle right then and there. So it's more just a schoolwork thing for me.
Why do you feel like it's your schoolwork? Like, what element in your schoolwork makes you not want to do it right then and
Maybe
there?
I don't understand it at the time, so like maybe makes me want to put it off. Like something I shy away from. Like
That's deep.
I'll work on it later. You know.
Okay. Well, I would suggest maybe teaming up with somebody in your class or going to your teachers for advice on how they want their work performed, because sometimes they'll give you the best advice because obviously it's coming from them.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know if y'all have peer tutors. Sometimes your peers, you understand things when they can put it in context for you. So if that could help, I would try that if you need help.
You're right.
Contestant number
Mm-hmm.
1. On a scale from 1 to 10, rate your organizational.
Oh, depending on the day of the week.
Oh my goodness.
During a good time, I would usually say like an 11 because like I can get really bad OCD and I need everything to be perfect, and I really do like to plan stuff to the T. But then again, I tell you that I'll be battling anxiety, depression, life. So then it can be either 11 or it can go down to a 5. Yeah.
Wow. So you go from a broke my scale to a middle
Yeah.
of the scale. I got you. Contestant number 2, what would you rate yours?
Maybe 6 or 7.
6 or
Yeah.
7. Okay. Okay. Also, contestant number 2, what are the pros of procrastination?
Well, if your professor changes something into the assignment, and if you already did the assignment, then we may have to go back and change some things. But if we haven't started yet, and now you can incorporate the new aspect into your assignment, and it'll flow better.
That just made me think about how like back in when I was a good student, and let's say I did the assignment the day it was due, and I stood up all night to make sure everything was perfect with the assignment. And the next day when I go try to turn it in, the teacher would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna give y'all an extra day," or "No, we're not gonna turn it in this week." That shit used to piss me off.
Okay, with the pros, I have to ask about the cons. So, contestant number 1, how do you feel about the cons of procrastination?
Like how I was saying earlier, it adds extra stress to your life that you necessarily don't even really need. Like if you can avoid the stress, you should most definitely try to.
Mm-hmm.
Just because stress isn't healthy. But it adds stress.
Well, some stresses, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But if it's like
some stresses,
stress that you can avoid, it would be like better to do that. Even if everything's perfect, it would be better to do that. Another con would be sometimes some people are not good under pressure. So if they do something last minute, the professor could probably see that they just threw this together.
And I've seen an abundance of projects. Like you get the syllabus the first week and they tell you, oh, it's due in the 7th week. So you have an abundance of time and you just keep putting it off. And then you see, maybe you start in the 5th week and you got 2 extra weeks. So you make yours decent, Then you see that one student that just looked like they did that stuff
the night before,
maybe 2 hours ago.
And you can tell.
And they put no effort
like
into
no
it.
Information, nothing. So that's definitely a big con for procrastination.
They don't even put a theme with the PowerPoint. They just have the white slides with the basic calibri font type. Like
bare minimum.
It's so sad.
I need to see.
It's so dry. No, we getting D's now, so they getting
a D.
Contestant number 2. When do you procrastinate the most?
I procrastinate the most. Like it kind of goes back into where like I don't understand something. Like I don't understand what I'm doing for an assignment. Like that's why I gotta go back to my professor and ask. But I feel like if I get something and I have like a lot of time to get it done, I think I'm a part of procrastinate a lot on that too. It's like, dang, I got all this time to do it until it's due, and I gotta prioritize to do something else first. But then after everything else gets done, I still haven't done that assignment that's due so long away. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just like I get on it.
Okay. Also, do you have any tactics that you use to ensure that you finish a task?
That deadline, you know, that deadline,
That deadline is all the
yeah,
motivation
like
you
you get
need.
set a reminder on your phone, or you get a D2L message notification come up. You got a day
Yeah,
or so and so for the time to get turned in.
I get
So
those
yeah,
too.
that's really it right there.
Okay. Contestant number 1, do you have any tactics that you use to ensure that you finish the task?
It's either that deadline or my grade dropping.
Oh Lord.
That's the only motivation that I got.
Personally, I keep whiteboards everywhere and note cards and sticky notes. I write down homework assignments
I used to
everywhere.
do
I
that.
have them in my phone and
You're making
everything.
me feel so bad because I used to have a homework wall where I wrote on like sticky tabs all the assignments that I needed, and it would be like each class was color coordinated. So that's when I was telling you, like, my organization level was like an 11. And then each
Right.
time that I finished the assignment, I'll take the sticky tab off, and there was just like this big relief, like, check mark.
It does that for me too. Like when I can just scratch through my note card and like, yeah, I did that, and it's like a week early. Like I feel real good about myself when I can do that, or just like take my hand and just smear it across the whiteboard, and it's like gone. Like I love it. The notifications because we get notifications about when we turned in something, so we get like a little receipt to ensure like it went through. I love those. I don't know, it just does me too. Do you guys think that freedom make you procrastinate more or less? Whoa. That was beautiful. Contestant number 1, can you explain?
When I was in high school, from freaking elementary school and up until high school, my parents was on my ass. I could not have anything below. If I had an 89 on my progress report, they were trying to take my phone. Okay, and that's something that I value was my phone, because I love being on social media and stuff. Now that I'm grown and I don't have that accountability, I'm just like, hey, it's gonna get done when I want it to get done.
I honestly wish we had progress reports still, or like a infinite campus tab, because we pay so much money to be here, and we sometimes don't even know our grades until either midterm if they update it, or until that final, and that's ridiculous to me.
That's one thing I do.
But contestant number 2,
I'm sorry.
No, you good, girl.
It's one thing I do enjoy about online classes, because most of the time they update the grade right when you turn the assignment in. That's one thing I hated about going to the actual class, because I don't like not knowing what my grade is or how I'm doing.
Me either.
Until the last minute. That's dumb.
I agree. Contestant number 2, can you explain your answer? Does freedom make you procrastinate more or less?
Procrastinate more. And I say that because, like I said, if you got all this freedom and time, and to do something like in college, like you got all this freedom in college, you know, you got your syllabus, you make your schedule and everything, and then you see how much time you have to do an assignment, and it's like you got other obligations going on, so you got other things, like if we may go to a game, a sporting event or something like that, or you got a job, you know, so you got all this other stuff going on. And they like, I got time. I wait till tomorrow to do it, and then tomorrow comes,
right?
You don't do it, and it's over with. It's a mess. So now you scrambling to get it done for a deadline, and it's crazy.
Contestant number 1, can you describe a busy week for yourself?
Busy, like what my schedule is.
Yes, ma'am.
Wake up, go to work for 40 hours a week. Then try to add school in there, and then my personal life.
How do you handle it when it gets out of hand?
That's a great question. I used to resort my stress into marijuana, but now I don't do that
Okay.
anymore. So I just take a nap.
Okay. That sounds beautiful. I take naps as well. I have to have my nap because it relieves a lot off my back, especially taking like 6 classes like I do.
Yeah.
So it's like in a day when I have to wake up early in the morning and my classes don't end till about 5:45 at the evening, it just I need
Yeah.
that nap.
A nap will make you feel better, even though you're like, okay, all of my situation is still the same. I still feel a whole lot better.
Definitely. Contestant number 2, can you describe a busy week for yourself?
Definitely. Okay, so I have 8 a.m. classes Monday through Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I have 12:30 on Monday and Wednesday, and then Tuesday I have one class 8 a.m. But I'm also an RA and a football coach here as well, so it's like it depends on if I'm on duty or not. Because at night I'll have I'll have a desk duty, or I may have the phone, so I may get a call at any time of the night, and I have to go answer go answer, see what somebody needs or something. And I have practice every day from 5 or really 3:30 to 6:30. That's when I get there, and I'm very busy, and I try to make time for my girl, you know. So I'm balancing everything out. But I feel like I found my balance though. I feel like I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really a busy week for me. Like just trying to make sure I find my balance every week, you know.
So how do you handle it when it gets out of hand? Like when situations pop up out of nowhere or extra assignments come into play?
Mm, I gotta take it one thing at a time and try not
That's
and not get overwhelmed and just breathe. Like you got this, you can do it.
I feel
Yeah.
that. I feel that. Contestant number 2, how important is it for you to finish the
Oh,
task?
it's very important. Like if you get something done, you feel like you just feel relief. Like I ain't got to worry about that no more. And especially if it's quality work too, and you know you in your heart you did great on it. It just feels so
Mm-hmm.
good to just like I feel accomplished. I can do anything.
Right.
So it's just
Contestant 1,
Yes.
how important is it for you to finish the task?
It depends on the task, honestly.
Okay. What task do you care more about? Or like what topic or subject area?
It would be bills and then schoolwork.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a grown woman. We don't have that right now. But okay, I understand that. Contestant number 2, do you set goals for yourself?
I did. Like I ain't really I tried to this semester. But I know last semester I said
Mm-hmm.
me and my girlfriend, we set some great goals together.
Oh,
And,
sorry.
we didn't really do it this semester though, but I tried to do something on my own. I wanted to be a great RA. Like I wanted to be, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be I knew I was going to coaching this year, so I wanted to be a good coach too. And then my academic wise, I wanted to have all A's and B's, So I had some goals for myself. I did.
What did you and your girlfriend do to set goals? Like, what did y'all do?
We actually made posters, and we had wrote them
Mm-hmm.
down on the poster. She got all creative and everything. I wasn't that creative for mine, so mine looked a little plain, but hers was beautiful.
Oh,
It
that's
was great.
cute.
So, I hung it up in my room, and not every day I hung it up right over my laptop, my desk area, and I look at that every day when I did my homework, and I just constantly reminded myself every day of my goals and what I was trying to achieve for the semester.
So, was it like a vision board?
You could say that, yeah,
Okay, that's cool. That's a good
yeah.
tip. Contestant number 1, do you set goals for yourself?
Yes, I do. I set goals and I try to accomplish those goals.
Mm-hmm. Why? What does it do for you mentally and physically?
Just to have goals is just something to aspire to. Mentally, it's just something that I want to work towards because I want to, build a future for my kids and my husband and my
Mm-hmm.
family.
Right.
Physically, it just makes me feel really great if I set a goal and then I actually accomplish that goal. It makes me feel like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Contestant number 1, what are your goals for this week?
Oh, for this week? That's a great question. So my goals for this week is to finish my work, make sure I go to work every day, and that's just about it.
Contestant number 2, do you have any goals that you want to accomplish this week?
Try to make more time for my girlfriend. And get all my assignments done too.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Contestant number 2, what do you wish you would have known about procrastination before you got to your current position in life? So, like, I guess college for you.
I'm gonna like spell me. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay. What do you wish you would have known about procrastination before you got to your current position in life?
I wish that I knew procrastination was something that you can handle yourself. Like, make sure you know, focus in and lock in on your assignments and not come out. And don't wait till the last minute. Don't put it off. I wish somebody would have told me that. Make sure you get it done. You got this and that. You got this and that. But I mean, my dad did tell me, but I ain't listen to him. Like, he tried to tell me, make sure you do your stuff right. But it's my fault. I ain't listen. But you know, listen to what people tell you about procrastination, and it's real.
Yeah,
struggle real.
Contestant number 1, would you like me to repeat the question?
No. I wish that I had, like how Jarvis was saying, someone that that I could relate to more, because when my parents told me that, it was just like, whatever. If it was like maybe like somebody that was my age that said, hey, yeah, procrastination is not something that you want to get too deep into, because once you get into it, it's hard to get out.
For sure.
That it is. So, I guess that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for coming on. Hey, let me ask you something.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to y'all later.
All right.
Okay. Wait, that's not asking me anything.
Oh, I didn't ask you anything. I asked you like 16 questions. I actually asked you more than 16 questions. I had like follow-ups and everything.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to play with you. Everybody, y'all have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Well, if you ask me, why wait? Tomorrow is definitely not promised. If you have the ability to change something today, don't wait, just do it. Procrastination will have you stressed beyond measures at times and isn't a good habit to adopt. In order to take some stress away, plan ahead and stick to a schedule. Practice organizing so nothing comes up unexpectedly and ruins your day. Learn how to take control and be boss-like, meaning get your stuff done in a timely manner so you won't have to deal with it later. Getting things done ahead of time will save you the headache, trust me. That's all we have for DBYT today. I want to thank everybody who tuned in this week. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at _Sanaa. That's my last name backwards. My Snapchat is at Taisha37 and my Twitter is at its_TaishaH. If you have any comments, suggestions, topics, or questions, feel free to use the voice message feature to send it through the Anchor app. Or if you tune in through another external podcasting service, you can hit me up on my social media. Tune in next time where we will be discussing how our men hurt too. Again, I want to thank all my guests that I had on my show today. I'm Taisha, and I promise I won't bite my tongue.